All right, we're less than 24 hours away from that highly anticipated hearing to potentially unseal the critical affidavit that led to the FBI on that Mar-a-Lago raid. Last week, the Department of Justice backed the unsealing of the search warrant and property receipt related to the case, but are opposing the release of the affidavit, they say, because it'll harm the ongoing criminal investigation. Judicial Watch is one of the many outlets fighting to see that critical document. Their president and author of A Republic Under Assault, Tom Fitton, joins us now. Tom, always good to see you. You know, Judicial Watch has been behind many of the big efforts to uncover the truth behind such events as Crossfire Hurricane and now that FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago. Why is it important that the documents surrounding these investigations, particularly the affidavit, be unsealed?
Because President Trump's never been raided before. He's a putative opponent of President Biden. He was the prior candidate for president. And the Justice Department needs to explain itself to the American people because there's this crisis of confidence in the ability of the Biden administration to fairly administer justice. And it's going to be furthered by the Justice Department pretending this is just an ordinary case and we don't have to tell anyone about why we're doing anything. And I'm sorry, but if you're going to raid the home of a former president of the United States and the likely candidate against the current president, you need to explain why and give us the details. And the details are going to be present in that affidavit.
So why is it? What is it about Judicial Watch that makes you guys successful? Is it that you're just tenacious? Is it that you understand the process well? Like, what is it that Judicial Watch does that others don't?
Well, it's a combination of being tenacious, being consistent, and, being willing to go to court. Going to court isn't easy, and we've been blessed with an excellent legal staff and investigators and a great group of supporters that allow us to, in this case, be the first in federal court to demand the release of this the warrant used to justify what I believe to be an abusive and reckless and dangerous raid on President Trump's home.
So we had Mayor Giuliani the other day, who's obviously a former U.S. attorney, so he's very familiar with this process. We asked him why, how common is it that these affidavits are unsealed? And he said, generally speaking, they are, and they might have some redacted information, though. So why? It just seems odd that they wouldn't release this, right, with just saying, okay, fine, we'll put it out and we'll have some redacted information. Are you concerned, though, that maybe they will agree to do this, but that it's just going to be like literally every word's going to be redacted and they can say we did it, but almost everything is redacted?
Well, actually, that's their current position. They're willing to put it out and redact virtually every word. And it's not up to them to decide. The Justice Department would have you believe they're running the judicial system. And we just filed something with the court this evening, just moments ago, frankly, Sean, that highlighted what the law is, that the court is the one who has to weigh the public interest in transparency with the government's interest in this alleged criminal investigation. Now, I would just want to take a step back. I think the raid was a fraud, an abuse, and a sham. There was no good faith basis to target Trump here with this outrageous raid. And all those records he has are his records. And they should stop pretending that just because they think they're presidential records and they think it's classified, that's the final answer, and it ain't.
So here's the thing that I thought was interesting. The Wall Street Journal, everybody was trying to figure out why they had to rush to raid his house, right? And they were like, maybe it was because there was something that they discovered or some source had told them that there was some imminent threat that they had to decide. But there's a report in the Wall Street Journal that says the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, took weeks, literally, to sign off on the search warrant. That sounds like that, maybe he's argued that he was doing due diligence. But the point being is that if they knew about all this stuff, this classified information for weeks, it doesn't sound like it was that concerning to them. They didn't act that quickly then. And so within a minute, can you explain how that plays in your mind?
Well, that doesn't sound like a law enforcement decision, as you're highlighting. That would be made in a timely fashion. When you have agony over doing something like this, typically it's because of politics. If it doesn't make sense and it sounds stupid, it's usually politics. And in this case, the politics are mighty dangerous, because to use law enforcement to achieve political ends is anti-constitutional and undermines the whole stability of our system of government.
Yeah. All right, Tom, I appreciate you and Judicial Watch. You guys have been doing this for decades. You're very successful at what you guys do. So thank you for doing the work and for coming on and explaining to our viewers. It's super helpful.